Hello, everyone around the world, Prince fans in Japan. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I'm Leandro from Argentina. I'm a Prince fan and a music lover, and well, it's nice to be here.
Today's guest is Leandro from Argentina. Could you
Yes,
give
sure.
your self-introduction briefly?
Well, as I said, my name is Leandro, and social networks is Leandro Vortex. I've been a music lover for ages, I'd say. I'm a music collector. I love listening to music albums, and Prince is one of my favorite artists. So I'm a translator. I study English. I study Japanese. I'm a lawyer. Well, that's briefly what I can say about me.
Thank you. Thank you for your introduction. As he says, surprisingly, he can speak Japanese as well. Could you speak another Japanese?
ちょっとだけです。日本語がちょっと話せます。でも、法律、2019年に勉強し始めました。その後に日本語が勉強しませんでした。それに今ちょっと下手になってしまったんだ。
You're very
yeah.
humble. Your Japanese is very good.
どうもありがとうございます。
Actually, we met each other. It's 2017, I think. He visited Japan, and I guided at Nara in Japan at that time.
And we went to Kobe also.
Yes, that's right. And we enjoyed the karaoke.
Yeah, it was a good time. I love tourism. I love traveling. I love trips. I traveled around Latin America, but luckily I had the chance to go to Japan in 2017, and it was the best trip of my life because I love English. You know, I started studying English since I was a little kid, but when I fell in love with Japanese, the language, I started studying so hard because I wanted to be able to understand it, to speak some, and so I spent like 5-6 years studying Japanese. I did 3 official exams, and 5 and 4 and 3, and then I stopped because I wanted to study law, and I just finished last December. So at some point I have to get back to Nihongo. It's something I just love the language, you know. And so I have a good time, and I had a great time with you in Japan. It was a hell of a trip. Also with Daki. Well, I love him very much, and you know, he's in my heart, like Paisley Park, you know. And so yeah, it was so far the best trip of my life. And I really hope to get back to Japan like tomorrow, you know. But I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know when that will be.
Wow, glad to hear that. So, as you said, you're a big Prince fan, of course. So, this is very basic question for Prince fans. What is your favorite songs or albums?
Favorite songs of albums. You know, the very first album that I got was Purple Rain, and I realized it was great, and I wanted to listen to other albums. And then I got the Gold Experience, because The Most Beautiful Girl in the World was such a worldwide hit. And when I got that song, I said, I love this song. I knew this song, but I didn't know it was a Prince song. But if I have to be honest with you, when I got this, I realized that I was a Prince fan, and then I had to get all of his albums, all of his stuff. I became a fan with M as in Michael. This is it. This is my favorite album.
Masterpiece.
My favorite Prince album ever. Sign of the Times. So I have lots of versions of Sign of the Times.
Japanese version.
Yeah. This is same as in vinyl. It's a great version. For me, it's my all-time favorite album. But I was looking for albums, and then I found, I don't know, I could say that this is amazing. This is a great album. And
It's Japanese version as well.
yeah, because Japanese versions are always the best. If you can get a Japanese version, you should definitely get one. It got caught in the middle of controversy and feud with the record label, and so I think intentionally Prince didn't want to promote it, and in the end, I think it's an underrated album. A lot
Absolutely,
of people,
absolutely. Yeah, I agree on that.
yeah, a lot of people haven't discovered yet that Tom is one of his best, but it's just an example. He's got a lot of amazing albums, just as well as this one, which I got in Kyoto, but it's not Japanese, the American version. Another amazing album by him. I'll be honest, I love all of his albums, but I also love the albums like this. This is one of my favorite albums.
Oh, instrumental.
In my opinion, a very inspired album. He's surrounded by wonderful musicians, and all of them share this vibe in the music, and they communicate one of his best albums. As a fan, I'd have to say that all of the songs have something that you can discover and enjoy.
So how about the song? This is a more difficult question, I guess.
Yeah, it's a more difficult question, and I just remember this book.
Oh, Wonder Prince.
Every Prince fan should have a copy of this book, because it's made out of pure love for him and his music. I was fortunate enough to be asked to pick my favorite songs in this book. So I had to pick, I think, three songs. My first choice will always be the ballad of Dorothy Parker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a song I always loved very much, and I can explain why only to a certain degree. I just fell in love with that song the moment I listened to it. It has a feeling which can't be copied, and if you pay attention to it, it takes you on a surreal roller coaster full of highly pleasing emotions. So, well, my second is Something in the Water Does Not Compute. And I guess only fans will understand why I choose Something in the Water. For me, it's not only a superb track, the sound and feeling it has a highly personal. And I always felt that somehow Prince is very intimate in it.
Yeah.
Finally, my third pick would be FUNK, Funk. This track comprises and updates The Everlasting Now, whatever The Everlasting Now started, in my opinion. When the world gets you down, you gotta try this one. As the title suggests, it's chock full of thick, concentrated funk that will surely pump up your senses and let you stay positive against all the mesmerizing negativity. I use it a lot to put my head up and don't give up the fight. So those are my three picks.
Amazing songs. Nice.
Please tell us about your top three Prince songs, Dachi.
Okay, I'll try. Number 3 is When Doves Cry.
No bass. No bass.
My ranking of Prince songs is a little bit changing slightly, but When Doves Cry is always in the top 5.
Cool.
And secondly, it's in my favorite album, Love Sexy.
Ah, okay.
This is Japanese version as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful album. Many songs I love, but Anastasia is very touching and one of my favorite. So I'd like to pick Anastasia as a second.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite songs. Yeah, top 5 song.
And top 1 is God.
God, the vocal version?
Vocal version, yes.
Because I really love the instrumental version.
Yeah, instrumental version is beautiful as well. Yes, I love both.
So please tell us why you picked God.
I just liked that songs, but after the concert I watched, that song became my number 1. That happened in the Paisley Park studio. I went 2002 Xenophobia to see his concert, and the last day he played God, and that was very moving, and I cried so much. So that experience is the most beautiful moment in my life.
It's an amazing song, and it's not just another song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If he entitles a song "God," is something serious, and I think it's a beautiful song. Thankfully, the wonderful people of Sabotage have given us fans and people worldwide the chance of listening to all the concerts of the Xenophobia event.
Yeah.
And if I would have to choose an event, if I could go back in time and pick a Prince concert, I would go to Xenophobia, undoubtedly. I know that you were there. I'm happy because you had the chance of being there. I'm sure it was a wonderful moment.
Wonderful. Yes, it was super.
Well, first of all, in the case of Argentina, I do have to mention that we have a long history of rock music. And we have some of the best, some of the greatest musicians in rock history ever. Some parts of the world haven't discovered this yet. It all started in the mid-60s and it never stopped growing. It just kept growing. When the 80s came, things got really professional, but the real game changer was Queen. Queen came to play to Argentina in 1980, and that opened the door hundreds of bands that started coming. Well, this is the context. Prince playing Argentina in the biggest stadium in the country. River Plate Stadium is the biggest stadium in Latin America. But what about popularity? If I have to be honest, Prince was kind of, he had these strange looks, strange appeal. For more information, we would only have to check the poster that was included in Dirty Mind. I would have to say that we Argentinians like more standard rock music. Like, for example, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
But he started getting attention from the media. Like, for example, this is the biggest newspaper, Prince. Who's that guy? December 1986. Well, we do know that he wasn't one for giving interviews. So the media just had to do something about it. And this is kind of a biography by him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he started getting some attention from the media. Of course, his albums were released here, but it wasn't like a big success. The most important thing that I should say about this is that musicians in the 80s, Argentina was flooded with lots of musicians. They were so popular that they started touring the continent. And some of them openly expressed their admiration for Prince. There wasn't like hundreds of fans, but he was a present figure. You would see him at the record store. You would see him in the magazines and the newspapers. This is a sticker from the 80s. This is made in Argentina. It's very cool. If you take a look at the glasses, there are two dots, and he's crying.
Oh, yeah.
So you could buy this in the 80s here in Argentina. This is Rock and Pop magazine #1 from 1985. Okay, and Prince would show up in the magazine frequently. This is number 4, and he's already in the cover.
Wow.
Prince. Is he the Jimi Hendrix from the 80s? Is the title. My answer would be yes. Well, anyway, you have an article about him with some pictures from the archive, But I wouldn't say that he was a big star among record buyers, but musicians were highly influenced by him, and he was highly respected, I would say. Some of the most popular artists here in Argentina would mention him frequently. Let me show you some of them. I'm not sure if you know Fito Paez. He's one of the greatest, most popular artists here in Argentina, and he has played all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the 80s, he was a rising star, and at some point, he got to listen to Prince, and he was very influenced by him, and he became a fan. You know, like for example, this is the record from 1980 by him. As you can see, he's purple.
Oh, yeah.
There is a famous picture by him, which is he's holding hands like this with a big poster of Sign of the Times. There was a band in the 90s, Illya, Kuriyaki, and the Valderamas, or 95, called Chaco. This record became really famous, and after this, they released subsequent albums, some of them deeply inspired in Minneapolis funk. It does this one, which is called Leche, Milk. This were recorded in Minneapolis. Bootsy Collins plays in this album. If you take a look at the clip, one of the members of the band, he's holding a cloud guitar.
Cloud guitar, wow.
Yeah, but eventually YKB, they became solo artists.
I see.
This is the first album from one of the members, and if you take a look at the font of the album,
it's called font.
Yeah. The other member of the band, which is Dante, gave a concert a couple of months ago in a theater here, and it was one of the most amazing funk concerts I have ever witnessed. It was full of this kind of things about Prince. All the band was wearing peach, just as in Sign of the Times.
Peach.
And this is his first album. It was released in the States. There's a big influence of Prince's music in their music. Very popular musicians that had been inspired by the music of Prince. Maybe the biggest rock musician in the history of Argentina is called Charly Carcia. He was at some point influenced and became a Prince fan too. This is a magazine from 96. He's in the cover. If you take a look inside the article, one of the pictures, you will be surprised to find a well-known artist. In one of the pictures, he's holding a magazine.
Oh, it's a Prince.
Yeah, if you read the article, he speaks about Prince. He would usually speak about Prince in interviews because it is still one of his favorite artists.
Oh.
Well, I just have loads of stuff because I love collecting magazines and stuff. So, this is a poster from the 80s from a magazine.
Wow, Purple Rain.
Yeah, it was from Argentina, You would get these posters with magazines. Here's another one from...
Sign of the Times.
Yeah, Sign of the Times. And so... Well, I do have the ones in Japan in 1990.
Wow.
Take a look. When Prince played here in January, they would give you this newspaper. This was a special newspaper that was prepared, that was made for this concert. So it was kind of a program, They put Anastasia lyrics here, translated in Spanish. There's a comic strip about Prince. Yeah, it's all Prince. And there's this kind of collage here about him.
That's
If you
good.
take a look, it's amazing because this is from 1991. And doesn't this butterfly remind you of the beautiful experience?
Yes.
And the beautiful experience didn't even exist, but it's there. You would get this program on his concert. But well, when he released Musicology, he was back in the big news here. The title here is to go back, to return. It's like he's going back to the major leagues. That's what the media thought. But anyway, a poster from a rock magazine from 2007, all from Argentina. I could keep going for hours, you know. I have hundreds of magazines, and the ones about Prince, I always buy them, you know. I wanted to talk about this one. Talks about the release. This is about the release of Sign of the Times. It says double album without the revolution. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's see what it says. Prince. 3 of the songs in Sign of the Times: Starfish and Coffee, Slow Love, and It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night, are collaborations with other composers, Sheena Easton and a new female singer called Camille appear as guests. Well, okay, yeah. So in 1987, they didn't even know who Camille was. So it's always interesting to get this, and there was a clear lack of information because he wouldn't talk.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Fito Paez from the 80s. He was influenced by Prince, and here is the article about Love Sexy. The details of Love Sexy. Controversy in North America because of the artwork, the cover art for Love Sexy. The cover is here. They're showing it.
Yes. This one.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. Some people from the music industry, which they didn't want to release a cover like that. Most of the businesses who deal with us have a public related to families, and Love Sexy precisely it's not a cover for that type of market. Well, it talks about that. And this is one of my favorites. This is from Spain, but I love it. From the metal Harlan, Michael.
Prince with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and I love the image. And it's an article about Prince and their proteges, and it's very cool because you can see Prince, Vanity 6, Time, Sheila E, Apollonia, and Vanity is no
and
more.
Times.
Cross. It's crossed. She stopped. It's called Pelo, hair. It was a rock festival shared between In Excess and Prince. And so In Excess is in the cover, and we have Prince here, tiny. And the title, the title is the reference. It's kind of coitus interruptus. It was kind of like that. That's how Argentinians reacted to that, because it was very short. Nobody knows why, but he decided to make a short concert. If in the contract it said you have to play 80 minutes, he played 81 and left. And so everyone was there like, is it over? It ain't over. Yes, it was over. And so people were left like thinking, what happened? You know, it's over already. So there were mixed feelings, and the coverage here in the magazine is wide. You know, lots of pages, lots of pictures of the concert. Anyway, from the show. It was an amazing show, and the show is available if you know how to find it. But anyway, in YouTube, maybe. You know, there's this tiny paragraph that describes the concert and the context. But, you know, the last paragraph is anger. It's anger, yeah. Anger from the entire audience when at 0 a.m. midnight, Prince decided to finish the show. Surprisingly, he left the venue with his musicians. The lights were turned off and the lights from the stadium were turned on. Turn the lights up, turn the lights on. So everyone started like yelling for more
Wow.
than minutes.
More than minutes yelling. Whoa.
And then they started insulting,
Really?
throwing bottles and stones and
Ooh.
rocks. Yeah, so there was kind of a tiny riot,
Did he stop the concert all of a sudden?
No, it's not that he stopped the concert. It was a short concert, and
Just a short. Okay.
yeah,
Mm.
and the concert actually is very good. Some of the musicians that I mentioned, and some that I didn't, like for example, Luis Alberto Spinetta. He's a very respected artist here. I do remember in the magazine he said that sound check was longer, and this is
Oh.
sound check was longer than the concert itself. And he said like it was a great concert. If it was longer, maybe we would pass out, because it was such an amazing energy. Yeah, so this is kind of what I can briefly say about Prince in Argentina and his influence. Could I ask you how did the Japanese record buyers reacted when Prince became famous and Purple Rain was released? Well, because at some point, some fans here in the 80s would say, Prince, he's so strange the way he looks. I don't know. Yeah, and he was challenging. You get I Would Die for You, and it was a single, and I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I'm something that you'll never understand. So there was this challenge about the way he looked, and I think it was amazing. But I don't know, how did the Japanese people reacted to the way he looked and his music?
Yes, that's a nice point. Well, in the Purple Rain era, there was a big hit in Japan as well. So he was very popular at that time. But as you said, he was so unique. That era there's no diversity as today. Prince is too unique. There is funny things, in Japanese magazines, sometimes there's a ranking. Who is the best musician and who is the worst musician? And Prince was top of both.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was never one to be caught in the middle. He was whether the best, the greatest, the all-time genius,
Absolutely.
or he would be kind of despised by some people.
Yes, he was very popular in Purple Rain era, and that's continued until first 1990s, around the Diamond Pearls or something like that. But especially after he changed his name and independent, most of Japanese Prince fans left.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Same as Argentinians, he is kind of a musician. So there are many musicians who influenced by Prince. His name is Sga Shikao. Japanese,
Okay.
Yes, famous musicians. He mentioned Prince is the best, he said. I cannot translate.
Yeah, well.
So Suga Shikao said he tried to not pretend Prince, but he tried to play funk as a Japanese style, original style. But he absolutely influenced by Prince.
What was the name of this artist we were talking about at the end of the 80s and the beginning of the 90s? This cover, this colorful album cover, and his face, there's a face of a small kid in the middle of
Yasuyuki Okamura.
That's an album. That's a very cool album. Clearly inspired by Prince.
Yes.
And well, okay, this is a challenge for everyone who was willing to take it. You know, he got a part from a Prince song. He kind of copied it and pasted it in a song. And I don't know if you will be able to find it. I do remember that we talked about that.
Yes.
And you mentioned the song, and it was kind of inspired by Prince. But I meant another song. There is a song in that album that has a portion of Shakadelica, but it's not influenced. It's like a kind of it's a portion of Shakadelica. But I really like that album. It's a great funk pop, Minneapolis sound based Japanese album. So, Tachi-san, I would like to thank you for inviting me. I'm a big fan of Party Mind. I love what you do, and I really thank you for what you do because it's out of love, and that's something that I really appreciate. You're one of my favorite fans, honestly. And okay. For the people who watch this, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. またどこかで会いましょうね。
Bye.
Bye.